Hi everybody! As you all know, this is Mahragani Karaza, and today we'll be learning about the Good Shepherd protects the church, crossing the Red Sea, Exodus 14:15.
Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday School. I'm so happy to see every one of you here today. So today we're going to go inside the church and Abuna is going to tell us the story of the crossing of the Red Sea from Exodus 14:15. So in this story, we're going to see how our Good Shepherd, who's our Lord Jesus Christ, protects his church. Okay, let's go inside.
So now that we are inside the church, we're gonna all sit down quietly and listen to Abuna tell us how our Good Shepherd protects the church from the story of the crossing of the Red Sea.
The story started when God's people left the land of Canaan. They went with Jacob to live with their brother Joseph in Egypt, in the land of Goshen. They lived there for many years. Pharaoh loved Joseph and his family. When that Pharaoh died, another Pharaoh became the king. The new Pharaoh did not like God's people. The new Pharaoh made Joseph's family slaves to the Egyptian for about 430 years. They cried to the Lord to save them from slavery and bring them back to their homeland.
Did God hear their prayers?
Sure, as I told you before, God is the only one that can bring them back to their homeland and save them from slavery. God answered them in the right time and saved his people. God chose a man named Moses and sent him to save them. Moses did many miracles, 10 of them. They were called the 10 plagues, in front of Pharaoh and all the Egyptians. But Pharaoh refused to let God's people leave Egypt. At last, Pharaoh finally agreed to let them leave because of the miracles God made Moses do. The people of Israel prepared to leave, and they began their journey, and the Lord was watching over them and protecting them from any harm.
Can you tell me how this happened?
At first, God gave them a pillar of cloud to guide them by day and to show them the way they were supposed to take. At nighttime, God sent them a pillar of fire to give them light, so they can walk by day and by night. Nothing stopped them at all.
God was really taking good care of them and protecting them. What else did God also do?
God watched over them all the way till they came to the sea, the Red Sea. Now they have a big problem. How will they walk to the other side of the sea? Suddenly, they looked back, and it was Pharaoh with his chariots and his soldiers following them.
Pharaoh? Didn't you say that Pharaoh let them go? Why is he following them now?
Well, Pharaoh thought about it again and thought that he made a big mistake to let them go out of Egypt. He wanted to bring them back to Egypt. Pharaoh took his army and followed after Moses and God's people. The people were so afraid, but Moses trusted God and told them, "Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord." Exodus 14:13.
This is actually very scary. A huge sea in front of them and Pharaoh's following them. I wonder what God did to save them.
The Lord spoke to Moses and said, "Lift up your rod, stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the middle of the sea." And since God is watching over them, he made the pillar of cloud to go behind them to separate God's people from Pharaoh and his army and to give them a chance to cross the sea safely. And Moses did exactly what God told him to do. He took his rod and lifted it over the sea. A very strong wind came and divided the sea into 2 halves. And the sea was like a wall from the left and a wall from the right. And in the middle, there was a dry land for God's people to walk. The people walked all night long, and Pharaoh's soldiers walked behind them to catch them. And they also walked on the dry land in the middle of the sea.
Whoa, the sea split. This is a wonderful miracle. What happened next? Did Pharaoh catch them?
Of course not. Did I forget to tell you? Always trust in God's care for His children. Let me finish the story. Early in the morning, the wheels in Pharaoh's chariot broke down. They got so scared and they couldn't move. When they got to the middle of the sea, and the people of Israel crossed to the other side of the Red Sea, God told Moses to stretch his hand again so the sea can go back to normal. And of course, the sea went back to normal, and Pharaoh, his soldiers, and all the chariots drowned in the middle of the sea. God saved his people from Pharaoh's hand. Moses and all the people praised God, and everyone was happy and rejoicing because God saved them. Now they know for sure that God always hears their prayers and protects them from anything that can harm them. He is the only one that can watch over them and rescue them no matter what happened.
Wow, that's wonderful, Abuna. Thank you for the story. See, kids, the same way, God always listens to our cries and protects us because He loves us and because He's our Creator and the only one who can guard us and take care of us. I was so happy to see you all today in Sunday school. See you next week.
Thank you for watching. God bless you all.